Does your vagina have a community? No? Maybe she should. Oh wait, you don't have a vagina. No problem. The culture of vaginas is still something that you could profit from. If someone had told me a few years ago that today I would be publicly talking about a culture of vaginas, I would have been profoundly confused. Intrigued, yes, but also confused. Maybe you feel the same way right now, so let me go back to the beginning. The beginning was when I directed Eve Ensler's The Vagina Monologues, not once, but twice. It was only during the second production of the play that this one sentence really hit home with me. It goes like this. My vagina needs a context of other vaginas, a community, a culture of vaginas. A culture of vaginas. It's one of those phrases that seems a bit weird at first, but it grows on you. Every time you hear it, it makes more sense. So today, in the next 15 minutes or so, I want to talk to you about the sense that I have made of it, answering 3 questions. What could a culture of vaginas look like? Why do we need it? And to start us off, who's this culture of vaginas even for? Well, it can be for everybody with any body. You don't need a vagina to participate, and having one doesn't automatically qualify you. The land of vaginas is open to immigration. And much like you don't need to be American to enjoy good HBO series, you can be supportive of the culture of vaginas without citizenship. What you do need is an unquivering belief in vaginas, in their beauty and power, in their right to remain whole and protected. Those are the membership rules, and they are non-negotiable. Vaginas are, and always will be, soft. They will never be hard. You need to understand this about vaginas if you want to start understanding what a culture of vaginas could look like. And you need to understand that their softness does not make them powerless. We need to finally acknowledge that power can come in different forms, and that anything phallic is just one of its many shapes. For centuries on end, women have been forced to compete with men on terms dictated by the patriarchy, to enter competitions that are all about size, about who is the hardest and who can keep going the longest. These terms suck. They suck for women, and I have a suspicion that they might also suck for a fair number of men. We need new terms. We need new rules. And so today I've brought a suggestion for what these rules could look like. Now, many examples for the application of these rules resonate with my life, the life of a white, middle-class, university-educated, hetero, cis woman. I believe that the rules in themselves, though, can work in many different contexts. So treat this as a work in progress. And if you have any additions or amendments, let me know, because the culture of vaginas needs to be created collectively. So, here goes. 10 rules for a culture of vaginas. Rule 1, speak up for other women. As women, we are constantly reminded to speak up for ourselves, and we all should, but it's hard when you're called bossy or bitchy when you do. It's hard when women are perceived as dominating conversations, when they talk 50% of the time in a meeting. So yes, speak up for yourself, but also speak up for other women. You know how they introduced gender equality officers that sit in on job interviews to make sure that women aren't disqualified just because theoretically they could have a baby? Be each other's gender equality officers all the time. Rule number 2, make it easier for other women. Many men might be sympathetic to the causes of feminism, and a select few might even join the fight. But we have to face this truth also. When it comes to relinquishing power, most men won't. We have to take it. And here's another truth to face. When it comes to relinquishing power, most women won't either. And that makes them slaves of the patriarchy all the same. So if you have the tiniest slice of power, share it with the next girl. The patriarchy made it hard for you to get where you are. By making it hard for the next woman, you help keep the patriarchy intact. By making it easier for her, you help to smash it. Rule number 3. Find your pack. As soon as you start speaking up for other women, make it easier for other women, you will see who follows suit. Do they speak up for other women too? Do they make it easier for other women too? If they do, you might have found a member of your pack. We all need one because the lone wolf dies, but the pack survives. So stick with the pack always, and the pack will stick with you. Rule number 4. Be kind. Kindness goes a long way. On our hardest days, the smallest gestures of kindness can help us get through the worst. So on your good days, be generous with your kindness towards others. It does not make you weak, and people remember. Rule 5. Make gaining experiences and knowledge more important than losing weight. Let me tell you a secret. That woman with the gorgeous hair that you see on the tram every day, she is in some way unhappy with her body. The super fit girl with a six-pack any dude would like to have, her too. That friend of yours who you sometimes secretly wish had a less perfect face, butt, collarbone, you name it, her too. Women are taught to worry about their looks and in particular their weight from a very, very early age. Small girls are complimented for being pretty and smiling sweetly and wearing neat dresses. Let's stop that right in its tracks. Let's start telling girls that they are smart and brave and strong. And instead of celebrating weight loss, let's cheer on each other for gaining experiences and knowledge and skills. I promise it will revolutionize our lives. Rule number 6. Give freely. If a job, a gig, a stage, an opportunity is offered to you and you can't take it or you don't need it, then by God, recommend another woman. There are many of them and they've got skills and charisma and balls. And all they need is someone to hand them the damn mic. Trust that whatever you give another woman will find its way back to you in some way or another, which brings me straight to rule 7. Take freely. When something is offered to you, don't doubt that you deserve it. Don't doubt that you can do it. You do. You can. Take it. Rule 8. Let go of perfection. If you wait for things to be perfect, you'll probably wait a lifetime. Rule number 9. Let go of being the good girl. Laurie Penny, who's one of my feminist idols really, once wrote, and I'm quoting, "Being the good girl can kill you fast, or it can kill you slow." She's right. Often we are so worried that someone might not like us or that we might disappoint our parents that we shy away from the leaps of faith in our own abilities. Don't be the good girl, be the girl that went for it. Rule 10. Let go of envy. This should really be rule number 1. Because it's the most important one. But I made it rule number 10 because it is also the hardest. And if you're successfully living rules 1 to 9, the last one might come a little easier. Letting go of envy of other women is hard work. Because all our lives we've been taught that the great jobs, the great friends, the great partners, the great lives are a scarcity. Let's stop believing this myth of patriarchy. Let's believe that there are great jobs, friends, partners, lives for all of us. Another woman's achievements, her brains, her boobs, her butt, her job, her house, her car, her hair, her man, or woman, her degree and her CV don't take anything away from you. So let go of your envy. Give her a high five and remember that she too has more baggage than you can imagine. Maybe she can even be part of your pack. So, here they are. My 10 rules for a culture of vaginas. Speak up for other women. Make it easier for other women. Find your pack. Be kind. Make gaining experiences more important than losing weight. Give freely. Take freely. Let go of perfection, of being the good girl, and of envy. You might have realized that these rules, they're, well, basically everyday stuff, rather than quotas or career networks or mentoring programs. I don't doubt that these things can be helpful, but the culture of vaginas goes far, far beyond. And I'm saying this with confidence against the background of a PhD in cultural studies, because that is what culture is. The discourses and practices that are deeply ingrained into the structures of our lives. It's in every book, TV show, and podcast. It's in every meme, every joke, every post on Instagram. It's in every comment about someone else's body or choice or life that we allow to be made without pointing out that someone else's body or choice or life is only that someone else's fucking business. So if we really want to change anything, then we have to change everything. Going to a women's circle twice a year is worth nothing as long as we continue to play by the rules of the patriarchy on the other 363 days. That's why we need a culture of vaginas, to truly revolutionize our world. So that catcalling, sexual assaults, sexist policies, sexist laws, sexist jokes, sexist anything really become entirely unacceptable, period. So that paid and unpaid work are distributed equally, and so that nothing, no challenge, not even a global pandemic, results in a return to outdated gender roles. So that women can run companies and countries without anyone commenting on their clothes. So that empathy and the ability to listen are recognized as important leadership qualities. We need a culture of vaginas to support the struggle of working moms and help the world understand that not everybody wants to be a mom. We need a culture of vaginas so that every girl and every woman can go to school, read and write, drive a car, have a bank account. Just because that's a given for you and me doesn't mean it's an issue solved. We need a culture of vaginas to fight for the rights of every woman everywhere, no matter the color of their skin, her sexual orientation, her job, her marital status, the size of her clothing, the size of her boobs, the number of her boobs, or chromosomes, or any other category ever made. No one can do all of that on their own. And not every fight has to be your fight. Within the culture of vaginas, we acknowledge all the fights of feminism. The culture of vaginas is a network of feminism. It is global and all-encompassing. It is also local and private and intimate. And at this point, I want to return to the very first question that I asked you. Does your vagina have a community? No? Maybe she needs one. I've been working on creating my own community of vaginas, and it's not always easy, but it's a wonderful place to live and work and breathe. I know some amazing women, and what they have done for me is nothing short of incredible. There's Sissy, for example, who during the last 2 months of my PhD took so much other work off of my shoulders that she had hardly time to eat and sleep herself, and who never once made me feel bad for it, but asked if I needed anything: food, coffee, a hug, a banana, or simply a meme to brighten my long days. There are Anne and Nadine, who've picked me up after more heartbreaks than I can count, and who, each in their own way, have helped me understand that I was never too much and always enough and perfectly lovable, who told me they'd marry me in a heartbeat, and that this or that guy had disqualified himself for a reason. Of course, they were right. There's the rest of the Gimlets and the Wonder Women, and then there's Christine, who's 20 years older and wiser than me, and who, when I sent her a very low-key message about maybe needing some advice about going freelance, told me to meet her at the park in half an hour. And when I was sitting in that park, crying, because I was so afraid of failing, she encouraged me and built me up. When I went home afterwards, I was still afraid, but I had understood that facing fears of failure leads you towards where you want to go most. You just need to dare go there. These women hold me up. They are my pack, my tribe, my sisters. I love them with all my heart, and they make my life so beautiful. Together, we can change the world. And maybe you want to join, now that you know what the culture of vaginas could look like. I hope you're less confused now than you were 15 minutes ago. I hope that you can't wait to get out of here and put the new rules into action. Now, I'd love to give you a by-then date. You know, the same way politicians say, we'll reach zero emissions by 2030. I'd love to say, we'll live in a culture of vaginas by 2030. The truth is, I don't know when we'll get there, but I can tell you when we need to start. Now.